You want to sign?
First of all, I want to know, what are you doing at Congressman James McGovern's office on this cloudy, miserable Friday afternoon?
We want our representative.
Who are you?
My name is Yoav. I'm from Amherst, and I'm here to send a message to McGovern to speak up for the release, for the freedom of Julian Assange, Alex Saab, the Venezuelan diplomat that was kidnapped.
Okay, a lot of us have heard about Assange for a long time. This Alex Saab, is that the car? Who is Alex Saab?
Alex Saab is a Venezuelan diplomat that was on his way to Iran to secure humanitarian aid such as food, medicine to Venezuela, because Venezuela cannot get it on the market because of the US sanctions. So on the way to Iran, his airplane landed in Cape Verde for refueling, and at the airport he was kidnapped and arrested by the Cape Verdean government at the service of US imperialism, US government. And since then he spent 2 years in Cape Verdean prison. And just before there was a switch to a new government in Cape Verde that did not support his arrest, he was kidnapped again, basically, by the US agents and brought to prison in Florida. He's right now in Florida in prison.
So he's in Florida now.
He's a diplomat, and therefore it is absolutely illegal under international law to arrest a diplomat, not to mention that he is a diplomat that is trying to get humanitarian aid to people who are suffering from very serious shortages because of the sanctions in Venezuela.
Well, thanks for the information on Alex Saab that many people don't know about. Now, back to Julian Assange, who is now in Belmarsh prison.
Yes.
What's the story there? I mean, you're fighting extradition, or you're hoping to stop the extradition, right?
Let me look at tell you the dates. I want to make sure I give you the right dates. Julian Assange was arrested at 2019 at the Ecuadorian embassy in London, where he had been staying since 2012. So it's been already 10 years that he's denied freedom. So in April 2022, the UK court said that Britain should extradite him to the United States at the request of the United States government. He is facing up to 175 years in prison for publishing truthful information about the war in Iraq, Afghanistan, about Guantanamo.
Yeah. Well, we know the big thing. You know, we don't imprison war criminals. We imprison people who report on war criminals, who expose them.
That's right.
Now, where is this extradition in process now? Do you know?
As far as I know, there was an appeal to the Supreme Court in England, and the Supreme Court in England approved the extradition. So I think we are, from my understanding, very close to the point where he will actually be extradited to the United States, unless a miracle happens and people which are demonstrating across the world for his freedom succeed in securing his freedom.
Okay, so thank you. Yoav Eldevsky, who's part of Mass Peace Action and is very much involved in the freedom fight for Alex Saab and Julian Assange. Also here today are other people. Who is this?
My name's Miriam Ansara, and I'm also of Mass Peace Action and of Western Massachusetts Code Pink.
So what brings you here?
I want to support freedom for Julian Assange and for Mr. Saab.
Thanks, Mary. And you are?
I'm Teresa Turner with Code Pink Western Mass and Extinction Rebellion. And I think it's appalling that there should be this effort to shoot the messenger. And I also think that Julian Assange is our hero and should be respected and honored as such. And we have a long history of killing the messengers, punishing the truth tellers. And I do like the way that Extinction Rebellion says not just follow the science and have popular assemblies, but tell the truth. And Julian Assange has told the truth. And we should have a pardon for him immediately. He should not be prosecuted in the US. He certainly shouldn't be found guilty of anything. And he joins a long line of people's heroes who speak up against wrongdoing.
May I say, Julian Assange does not need a pardon. He needs an acknowledgement and an apology.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, other people here have comments. Who are you, sir?
I'm Tom Nielsen.
And why are you here at the Congressman McGovern's office today?
Well, we are all Julian. I mean, I'm a writer. It's a crime to tell the truth in this country. It's been that way for some time, and that's all Julian did. You know, if he had published the same information about a country that the United States didn't like, he would be celebrated by our government. But the last thing our government wants is to have the truth known about what it's doing and the war crimes. I've worked under the State Department umbrella for a number of years. I've worked for the UN. I've spent considerable time out of the States, and how news is reported in the States is not what I have experienced around the world. Not at all. It's fabricated, it's distorted, and I look for sources that relate information that is consistent with how I have experienced the world, what my work was like. I was in Somalia, I was expected to go along with a lie, you know, and I wouldn't do that. Anyway, the short of it is Julian is not a criminal. He's a journalist. He did what good journalists are supposed to do. You're supposed to report the facts. You're supposed to get to the truth. You know, I did a show in Miami about 20 years ago. I have this media song, and these two journalists came up to me after the song, and they said, "We want to thank you for that song about the media, because we know just what line not to cross. We never write the whole truth about something. We know what to say, what not to say, because we'll lose our jobs if we go the distance, you know, with the truth."
So do you remember that song, Mr. Nielsen?
Well, it actually was an award it won at the South Florida Folk Festival. Yeah, I can't do it now. My memory can't remember anything.
Well, okay. Well, let you think about it for a while I check.
No, I can't come up with it. But what it does is it essentially shows all. It gets rewritten all the time. It gets updated. It's all the things that are distracting. You know, how much time was given to Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in the media, but how much did we hear about people in Odessa getting burned alive by the Nazis in the Union Hall? You know, that's not news, you know, and so that's why I'm here.
Thanks. And hello, and who are you, and what are you doing here with your Free Assange sign?
I'm Nancy, and I'm here because first they come for the journalists.
Thank you. And hello there, sir.
Hello, I'm Garrett, and let's see, why am I here? Julian Assange is needed more now. Assangeism is needed more now than ever. We live in this universe of lies and disinformation and misinformation, and the only way to get at the truth is to see what's actually happening, and that's what Assange gave us, was an organization, WikiLeaks, that people could post anonymously to and reveal the actual truth of what's going on, and we need that. How can you have a democracy? How can you call the society that you live under a democracy when you keep essential truths hidden? I mean, it's ridiculous. We have a fake sham democracy here, and we need to correct that, and one of the ways to correct that is to free Julian, free Assange. It has to happen.
So one of the things that the Poor People's Campaign talks about is this moral revival. That is another language for what you're talking about. Do you resonate with them too?
I don't know of what their program is really, but I mean, worked with them, but I know I'm horrible, but
you're not horrible, but find out because I think you're on the same page.
All righty.
In places.
Okay.
Thanks, Garrett.
Thank you.
And hello there, Ellen.
Hi,
Who are you?
I'm Ellen. I'm here just to bring awareness that this is happening and the people are still in prison, whether it's Guantanamo, whether it's in prisons all over the world. U.S. citizens are still in prison, and we just forget them and go on with their lives.
Whoa.
And here are two people here who shouldn't be in prisons, and they are. So we just need awareness to everybody.
Thanks.
To change it and stop it.
All right.
What is he doing? Oh no, that's not good. Oh no.
Hello. Well, we're just distracted a little bit by the going on some cars.
much
Hello, madam.
excitement.
Who are you?
I am Gloria.
And what are you doing here at the office of Mr. James McGovern, our congressman?
It's just to demand our congressman to really do his job representing his constituents who are demanding freedom of speech, and we're demanding democracy now. We need people to be aware of the fact that we are criminalizing when we tell the truth. Assange exposed the war crimes of this country around the world. And Alex Saab, just because he was trying to deliver humanitarian aid, he's now in prison. We need to speak up. We need our representatives to really represent his or their constituency and not to work for corporations and support militarism and nuclearization, and to demand also freedom and peace around the world. No to not only the war in Ukraine, but all the wars around the world. Thank you.
Thank you. And hello there. Who
Hi,
are you?
Daniel.
Daniel. So Daniel, you're here with your Free Assange, no U.S. extradition sign. What brings you here?
Well, anytime you step on the bunion of power and you expose the savage criminality of this country, you will be also a victim of that same violence, the violence that Washington perpetrates around the world. And so I'm not personally a victim of that violence, but Assange is. And I stand in solidarity with him as he is being victimized. And I realize that any one of us, or all of us, can be the victims of this kind of savage violence. I think someone expressed it this way: when you denounce the criminality of authority and you become the criminal, then you know the criminals are the authority. Thanks very much.
This is Paki Wieland in front of the Congressman James McGovern's office with these wonderful protesters speaking out for Julian Assange and Alex Saab against the imprisonment by the United States. Over and out.